Good evening, everyone. I'm Jakob Music, and this is another episode of The Word. I want to thank The Word regular contributor, Annika Wolf, for being here faithfully as always, even though she's sick. Annika, thank you for coming on today.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. Nice frog yourself.
So we were hoping to have Charlotte on as well. Maybe we'll get her a bit later. Who knows? But we have some interesting topics today. We're talking about the economy. There was a particularly combative segment on Fox Business's program. I think it's called like Markets Now or something.
Fox Business could behave like that?
Oh, I know. Shocking. And they're so civil and such nice people, right? And they were saying no and arguing against him, and it was ridiculous and contentious. But there is a real issue there. I mean, we've talked about it on this program.
Well, and that's the funny thing. Fox is very much on the Republican side.
Absolutely.
They would absolutely be like, yeah, the economy sucks, Obama's full.
And they do, but they have, well, we can get into this more later, but they have an interesting role to play because this is a financial channel. They rest on keeping people invested in this idea of you can invest in the market and it can be good for you. So they can't completely trash the economy, you know? If they make everyone check out of the stock market, they've got zero viewers, you know? So they have this kind of dance to play. And then also we have the interesting possible political return of one of my favorite, and that is Christine O'Donnell. She might be coming back. So we're going to talk about her possible comeback, but also look at her greatest hits in terms of her 2010 campaign. But first, let's go to Annika's angle. What do you have for us today?
Well, I guess this kind of goes hand in hand with our system. I mean, even though our economy is in the toilet, a lot of people still think that America is by far and wide the greatest country in the world. Obviously, illegal immigration is a very hot topic, and I found some interesting stories on the gentleman who he really, really wanted to come here from Mexico. So he smuggled himself hidden in a shipment of red chili peppers. He was discovered only 100 yards into the U.S. border.
Oh, but he made it, though. We have to commend him for that.
100 yards, yes. But he made it, hidden in that shipment in the Mexico-New Mexico border.
Wow.
And he was accompanied by a bottle of high-octane tequila.
Oh.
And patrol agents say he was quote, he was highly in the bag. So he got deported back.
Well, I mean, he gave it a good effort.
There are other instances of people shipping themselves in coffins. My favorite is the Marines. They had a fake government plate made up, CSA plate, and long stretch fan, okay?
Yes.
And there were 12 people all dressed up as Marines in the van, and who would think about that?
They were dressed up as Marines.
As Marines in fatigue.
Wow.
And admittedly, I mean, that's not a bad plan, because who's going to question the Marines?
That's elaborate. That takes some planning.
No, that's not nearly as elaborate as
You have to go to Party City and buy your costumes, you know?
Right. So believe me, here's the problem, though. They were all corporals, which is fine, but they all had perez done onto their uniform.
Yeah, that's not very smart, is it?
Yeah, so it's like, this is my brother Perez, and these are my 12 other brothers Perez. Yeah, there's one picture that I found of someone who was sewn into a car seat. They basically took fabric off of the car seat and sewed it around him so it looked like he was a car seat.
What?
Good. There's one that I loved. It was a guy from Hong Kong, and he donned this mask and made him look like Mr. Magoo and got on a flight to Canada. Only got caught because the stewardess noticed, and this is a quote, his silky smooth young man hands didn't match his face, unquote.
Wait, okay. So this person was going from the United States to Canada?
No, from Hong Kong to Canada.
From Hong Kong to Canada. And wait, so I can't imagine someone in a mask getting even that far without anybody noticing.
Well, I guess getting onto a plane from Hong Kong is easier than in the States.
Maybe that's normal in Hong Kong. Who knows? But I guess desperation will make people go to extremes.
makes you wonder how many of them actually have gone through that way.
The mask was that like, I'm still shocked that the mask was that convincing.
Oh, it was, I mean, he looked like a shriveled up, he looked like Mr. Magoo, but he, looked like an old man.
I guess so. That is fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing that, Annika.
Oh, you're very welcome. I just think it's hysterical.
And again, we only know about the ones that were caught. Well, we're going to go to break and come back, and we're going to talk about our first main topic, the economy. And I know that, you're more pessimistic than a lot of people are in the economy these days, and I'm right there with you. So this is probably going to be a gloom fest, but you know what? It's important, and we are going to talk about it. We'll be right back.